So in this Sketchup snippet, we're going to talk about the Move tool again, but in this case, we're going to talk about one of the dangers of the Move tool. And appropriately, the danger is connected with red, so always connect that with red. And that is the danger I'm talking about is when you're using the Move tool and you choose the tool and you bring it over onto the thing you've selected, you'll notice there are all these little red marks on it. Now that's a quick way of accessing the rotate tool. So anywhere on those red points, if I click on it, it suddenly then becomes possible to use it to rotate the product, and you can see that I can type in my angle just like if I chose the rotate tool. Now that's great. It makes working with SketchUp very quick, except if you're a beginner, it can be something that you accidentally do without noticing. So let me just do Command Z just to go back there. So let's say, for example, you want to move this and you accidentally just kind of do that. It's really easy not to notice that. And what I've done now is I've moved that by a couple of degrees. And now when I actually do move it into place, what's going to happen is I'm going to find that, well, I've got a product that fits together just here. If I snap that onto that corner. But then you've got this weird thing happening over here. So you've got to be really careful about doing that by accident. That actually doesn't fit there, does it? Let me pick that up a bit better and snap that onto that corner. See, that snaps onto the corner there. And then you, if you're not careful, can end up with all kinds of problems. And it's often the case that students don't know what they've done and they don't know why it doesn't fit together. So that's something you really have to avoid. Now, it can be, if you do that and you haven't noticed, that you can get to a point a little bit like this product here, and I'm going to go back a few steps and just show you what's happened with this product. If I just select the whole thing and move it to the origin, it will show you some of the problems. You can see here that this has been accidentally rotated in that direction. You can see that some of the parts have been accidentally rotated in the horizontal direction. And overall, this product is just, yes, having real troubles. Now, if you do end up with a product where you've got something like this going on, you need to try and fix it. Now, it's not an easy fix, but there is a way to do it. And what I generally tend to do is I find that it's a good idea to not start again, but use get your parts of your product into another drawing so you can really check them out and make sure that they're correct before putting them back together again. So I've already made a new drawing here, which is empty right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first take this side piece here, and I'm going to double click and just take this to one surface here, and I'm going to take it and I've copied it. I just did Command C, but you can do Edit, Copy, it's the same thing. And I'm going to go to another drawing and I'm just going to paste that in there like that. Now if we zoom in, I can see I can put that on the origin, and that gives me an idea of how badly it's rotated. So you can see here that it's fine in this direction, and if I now take my move tool and move it so that this point is at the origin, I can then see, okay, well, I've got a problem right here with the angle that it's being moved to. So here's how I can fix that. If I look along the green axis, you can see this corner is absolutely accurately placed at the origin. That's really important. But this is sticking up. So what I need to do is get my rotate tool, make sure that it's in the appropriate axis, which in this case is the red axis, and I'm going to put it at the origin because I want to rotate this exactly around the origin. And then I'm going to zoom in real close and grab that point there as my starting point. I'm going to move it down until that is actually on the green axis. So now I should have now a perfectly aligned part again. Okay, right, let me show you that one more time with another piece. just going to move that to one side for a moment, move it further up this axis. I'm going to go back to my other drawing where I've got all these twisted pieces, and this time I'm going to take this part here, and this is also a bit rotated. It's also not been made into a component, so I can just take this surface here, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go back to my other drawing and then paste it in. And there it is, and you can see again with this, I've put this corner here at the origin, and you can see if we rotate around that it's actually correctly placed here on the green axis, but it's leaning forward, so somehow that's been rotated in the green axis somehow. So in this case then I need to get my rotate tool, get it into the green axis, make sure it's exactly at the origin where that corner is located, and then pick this point right here and move it until it tells me it's on the blue axis. And now that should be properly aligned as well. So let's move that. Over here and back to my chair, and with this one now for some reason this one has a number of components within components, but we again need to copy this surface, so copy back to the other drawing and paste, and again put that at the origin, and then have a really close look to see is it actually not lined up with it somehow. Now this one actually seems to be okay, so that looks to me like that doesn't need any work done on it, so we can move that away over here, and I'm going to go back and get my final part, which is the seat of the chair. This one, copy that surface, go to my untitled drawing, and then paste this in, put that at the origin. I could do that, pick that up by the corner here, snap that there, and you can see now we have also a rotation, which is this time around the blue axis. So this one also needs to be fixed, and we do that by taking the rotate tool, placing it exactly where that corner is at the origin, and then grabbing this point right here and moving this point until it's on the red axis. Right, so now we have all four of our pieces, and they're all properly lined up. So the best thing to do now is just use the push-pull tool, make them the right thickness, which is 9 in this case. So I'm kind of using the drawing that I had before to make a new drawing, and sometimes it's best if you just kind of get so in a mess with one drawing that you take what you can and start with a nice fresh clean drawing. Now all I'm doing here is making them into components, and now I've made them into components, I can use my rotate tool to first of all stand this side part up, and then I'm going to rotate it around by 90 degrees. Just going to move that away from the origin. Move this component to the origin, which gives me a nice starting point to rebuild my chair. So, rotate tool, get it standing up, 90, typing in the angle so it's nice and accurate. Move over here, snap, zoom in, zoom in and make sure that it's all correctly joined together, which it is in this case, and then take this, make a copy, drag it over here and snap it into the correct position right there. Alright, so that only leaves us with our seat, which fits there. And again, I'm going to zoom in and make sure that it's correct. You can see that it's snapped in the perfect position, and this is snapped in the perfect position. And my final piece to go into place is this one, keeping away from those little red marks. I'm going to put it almost in the correct position and then zoom way in, pick up that point there, snap it to that intersection there. And so, based on my messed up and twisted drawing here, which has everything kind of wrong, it's really easy, if not a little time consuming. It does take a little bit of time, but if you take it piece by piece and accurately check the angle and then get the angle correct again, you can rescue a drawing which looks like it wasn't possible to rescue.